Okay, Lewis, you can kick it off when you're ready.
This is a public meeting of the Indiana Arts Commission Individual Advancement Program for fiscal year 2021 Grant Review Panel. I'm Louis Rickey, Executive Director. Today is April 13th, 2020, and we are meeting by conference call and streaming live from a webinar. We welcome applicants and other guests who may be listening in today and would like to remind you that you are muted for this review. There is no direct contact or conversation about the evaluation and disposition of applications before, during, or after the panel meeting. So at this time, I'd like the panelists and staff to introduce themselves, starting with their name, occupation, and where they are from in the state. I'll call out your name. Kate Rink.
Hi, my name is Kate Rink, and I head the art studio at Outside the Box, a day program for adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities, and I am from Indianapolis.
And then Frank Lewis Allen.
Hi, I'm Frank Lewis Allen. I'm an artist who's on the spectrum, and I'm also legally blind. So I've just got it's like retinitis pigmentosa. It's like tunnel vision, and I create art, mainly big art with black Sharpies. And I like to draw on any surface.
And then Anna Tregesser.
Hi, Anna Tragesser, Artist and Community Services Manager at the IAC.
We'll begin the panel review. This is how the process will work. I'm going to announce the application and ask the first reader to begin the discussion. The first reader will provide their assessment of the application based upon the evaluation criteria and their perspective. Panelists, please note that the applications do not need to be recapped since everyone has read it. Just provide your comments. After the first reader is finished, I will ask the second reader to present any new, additional, or opposing comments. We're not looking for consensus, just a full evaluation from the different perspectives panelists bring to the table. After the second reader has finished, I will open the discussion for final comments. Remember, in the interest of time, we are only looking for new, additional, or opposing viewpoints. If a panelist has a conflict of interest, that panelist will be placed on hold while the application is reviewed. However, there are no conflicts of interest on this panel. Finally, once the application has been reviewed by the full panel, we ask the panel to update their scores in the online system. It is common for scores to change as a result of this broader discussion. These scores are saved automatically. And are there any questions? If not, let's begin. We'll start with the application FY21 IAP Ferrand-Ott. The first reader is Kate. Kate, you can go ahead when you're ready.
All right, I'm just pulling that application up here to look at. Okay. So you said not recapping what we have read in the application, but just giving feedback on the project?
Oh, you correct. You don't have to recap what they've written in the application, but you can just go ahead and jump in and give her how you believe it was strong or ways that she really could have strengthened the application.
Okay. I thought that this was strong in explaining her need for this display equipment and how she thought it would kind of level the playing field as far as what other artists at these fairs seem to already have to help their displays look professional. But that was strong in being really clear in what her intentions were and what she believes that would do for her display. and help her with these fairs. There some things that I kind of had questions about, talking about being able to do work that is pro bono or work that supports charities, but I would like to see a little more clarity about that. One piece that I was not super clear about was community engagement, community impact, as far as what the applicant believes the impact would be for the community through this project. I also believe that this person has planned really well with pricing things out and has a pretty clear idea of their budget and what they would like to purchase and what they think that would be best for their display. That it seems that they've been pretty thoughtful about this. It looks like they're not starting with any capital or donations towards this other than what they're requesting through the grant, which is not necessarily a good or bad thing, but that's their plan, is just to hopefully use this project money to make this happen. Is there anything else to speak to on that? I'm not sure.
No, if you're done, we'll go ahead and see if Frank, as a second reader, has something to add to this.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought on the community aspect that they did describe an example of how they would they like to educate from the art about the different animals. And she said about how she talked to this kid about, I think it was whether it was a coyote or a wolf. And so she did give a little example of the type of interactions she has. So when she does do these shows that she's been doing with the setup that isn't so stable, she has been interacting with the community. So I thought that was strong. Also, it's a real need that all our artists know about when if we're gonna thinking about doing fairs and stuff. Especially in Indiana with all the weather and things, to have a good strong booth. So I thought that was it's quite a clear, strong need that she's put across quite well. Community got development. Also, she brings to the community this aspect of her culture, especially to do with the wildlife, which was good. I think that's it.
Thank you, Frank. Are there any additional comments that either one of our panelists would like to make at this point? And if not, you can finalize your scores and update your online comments. And just let me know when you're done with doing that, and we'll proceed to the next application.
That was great from both of you. Thank you.
So can I have some clarification on how I'm able to adjust a score?
Sure. You can open up the evaluation just like you did the first time that you scored it, which is if you're on that dashboard, you identify which application that you'd like to change, and all the way to the right on that row, you click the green check mark, and that will open up your evaluation again, and you can just change anything in there. It'll save automatically.
Thank you.
Thanks for asking. Thanks for speaking up. Kate, do you need more time? Okay, Louis, we can move on.
No, I'm okay.
Very good. Well, we will proceed to FY21 IAP McMillian application. Our first reader for this is Frank. Go ahead when you're ready.
I saw a definite need for this sort of artistic interaction with the community, giving younger people a more positive way to something that would give them confidence. Because I know before I started my art 10 years ago, I felt pretty lost, and just having that thing that you're good at can completely change your mood and outlook. So I thought that was very good. So the goals of his classes are very good, but what could have done with a bit more detail on himself and how he interacts with his classes, because the grant did come across a bit like a business rather than an artistic endeavor. But at the same time, the more I read into it, it became clearer, and looking at the videos, it became clearer, because the community aspect of it is also very strong. He's going to pass on his art, which is his artistic goal, to his teaching, and then his students, filled with confidence, are going to pass on the art to more people. So the community side of it was very good. The financial side of it was very well laid out. And obviously, the applicant has a experience, as we can see from his CV, of teaching this sort of group. So overall, pretty good. I just think that a bit more personal information, how it has affected him and how he's in a position to pass that on, might have been useful. But that's just a minor thing, because overall, yeah. What else have we got? Yeah, the way the pop-up workshops are set up so that the students get to share their art and get confidence is a good roll-on from the project, which is good. I think that's all.
Thank you, Frank. And Kate, your second reader on this.
I agree that I think that there is a really clear definition of the community engagement with this one. It's serving a population that a lot of times gets overlooked, and then also trying to kind of it's definitely building positive self-worth through art for the young people that he would be serving, and then also kind of destigmatizing that population by bringing in other community members who would be patrons of their art. So that was a really lovely community building piece in this application and in what he already does. Yeah, I also could have used a little more clarity about, or would like to know more about the artist himself and hear a little bit more from him on a personal level. I agree on that. But very, very clearly, this person has a passion for working with the folks that he's serving currently. There's also a mention of the possibility of working with other populations, people who have been victims of trauma was something that was mentioned, but didn't have much clarity on that. I'd be curious to hear more about that, or if that's maybe an idea for the future and maybe not involved in this application. But I thought overall that they did a great job of creating community engagement and talking about what that looks like for this project specifically.
Okay, Kate, that's all from you? Great.
All right. Well, at this time, if you finalize your scores and update your online comments, and then just let me know when you've accomplished that. Frank, it looks like you maybe are done. And Kate?
Done.
Kate, are you as well?
Just have to find.
No worries. No hurry.
All right, I'm all finished as well.
Great. Well, this concludes the Individual Advancement Program FY21 Advisory Review Panel. The public meeting has now ended, and we'll say goodbye to the meeting guests at this time. This meeting recording will be posted on the program webpage of the IAC in the coming weeks. Panelists, please stay online for a little debrief with Anna. Thanks so much to everyone.
Okay, that was quick. Thanks to our guests in the meeting. We'll ask you to leave the meeting now. Have a great afternoon. Well, morning.